It's been a while since I had my last call with credit repair specialist Arvetta Sinkford. We discussed why she took a little time away from her business helping others to fix their credit to focus on her family. She's been working hard to prepare her oldest daughter for college life, and part of that preparation involves passing along good credit habits. Now, she's not a Youngstown resident, but it's my mission in creating these shows to add value however I can. We had a great conversation and look forward to sharing it. So without further delay, let's start the show.
This is Scott Spain with a journey call. Today, I'm having a return engagement with my good friend Arvetta Sinkford, credit repair specialist and good friend all around. How you doing today, Arvetta?
I'm good. How are you, Scott?
I am doing pretty good. I'm sorry to hear you're feeling a little bit under the weather today, but I appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, Scott.
Well, jumping right into it, first thing I wanted to ask you is I know you took a little bit of a step back from doing the credit repair in your Facebook group for a little bit. What's going on with that? Like, what happened? What made you want to step back for a minute?
Well, I had some things going on that I needed to take care of with my daughter and helping her with college and college applications, scholarships. It was just a lot on my plate as far as being a mother of a new 18-year-old. So I wanted to step back and take some time with her and getting her ready for college and her prom and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, that's all good answers right there because, we talked about it before. I've got a 20-year-old about to turn, 19-year-old about to turn 20, 16-year-old about to turn 17, so I understand these kids can monopolize a lot of your time, especially when you're trying to help them get started in the world.
Yes.
Which is probably partially why I wanted to talk with you today, and the subject I wanted to talk to you about is getting started with helping your child get their credit and everything together. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to start teaching your daughter about credit.
A lot of times you want to make sure, let me put it like this. The credit card companies, once your child turns 18, the credit card companies is going to send them credit cards. And so I was never taught as a kid and going off to college and stuff about credit. So I wanted my daughter to understand how much credit means before the credit card company got to her. And with her going off to college, sometimes when you have to get private student loans and stuff like that, sometimes you might not get all the aid that you need. And if you can get credit, if you can get the private lenders to loan you money, they go off credit. But your child has to have some type of credit history in order for you not to have to be a cosigner.
Yeah, so it's a good idea to establish that and just kind of help them be able to stand on their own 2 feet, even though you're still helping them.
Right, even though you're still helping them. But like I say, you want to teach them before the credit card company gets to them. Because at 18, they will start sending the letters out, and you don't want your kid to get out there and start applying for credit that they know they can't pay back.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. I was on the college campus. I had that experience, and it feels good for a while.
Yep, I've been there too. You get credit cards and you think it's free money,
right?
And it's not.
So what age? What age did you start teaching her about building credit?
Well, you know what? I wish the age I started teaching my daughter was last year. And that was basically because I started getting into the credit, So, but I wish I would have, if I could have did it earlier with me, if I would have understood credit and stuff like that, I would have probably started even earlier with teaching her a little bit about credit and stuff like that. But I think that a good age, I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm not sure what a good age is. I'm thinking maybe around the 11th grade. It just depends on on your child, you know, because if you look right now, your kids, you got 5-year-olds. My 5-year-old brothers, they know how to search YouTube. They know how to look on Facebook, get the pictures for you. I mean, they know how to do so much at a young age now. So it's more of a repetitive thing. You know what I mean? So if I think a kid can learn at 10, 12 years old about understanding and learning, at least knowing what it is. Because you got kids now that's in their 20s and they like, what is the credit bureaus? You know what I mean? So at a age of like 16, 17, I would start showing my kids what credit is, you know, just talking to them about credit, opening up them. Okay, so what I did for my daughter is right now what we're doing is I opened up she's getting a trade line put onto her credit report. So basically what that is I'm using a credit card from my own credit and placing her as an authorized user on my credit card.
Okay.
So what that allows to do, now she can open up a Credit Karma account because now she has established credit. So in order for you, and this is free, Credit Karma is free. Lots of people don't know about Credit Karma, you know, but this gets your child to knowing what a credit score is, what your payment history is supposed to be like, how late payments affect your credit report. You know, so they'll be getting emails from Credit Karma saying, nice job, your score just went up. You know what I mean? Instead of, that's just like, it's repetitive. So to repetitively see emails coming from your Credit Karma and stuff like that, you like, okay, Mom, what this mean? Why did it say my credit score went up? Why did it go up? What just happened? So it's a repetitive learning.
So it's creating opportunities for you to teach.
Right, it's creating opportunities for you to teach. Yes. So my daughter, we just put in so she's being added to one of my trade lines, and when you do this, you want as an adult, because you want to understand credit as well. You know, you want to know that your balances should be under 30%, you know, so you don't want to have any late payments on your account because that affects their credit report. So once you make them an authorized user on a card, then that trade line, that account gets reported to their credit report. So, which gives them history. Because you can't open up a Credit Karma without an account on, you know, you not having credit. Because at 17, 18, they don't have any credit. So you wouldn't even be able to open up a Credit Karma account without adding a trade line to their account.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, the 30%. I don't know if everybody knows that. When you say it needs to be at 30%, what do you mean?
So if you want to keep if you have a credit card with a limit of $300, you want to times that by 0.30, which you shouldn't be using which will come out to be $90. That means you shouldn't be using no more than $90 on that account by time if that credit card is to report to the credit bureau. So it's the same thing if you had a $500 limit. You always want to times it by 0.30. Anything lower is excellent, but the ideal is under 30%. So if you have a $500 credit card, you only should be spending $150.
Okay, so you just want to keep that range, that threshold of what the amount of money that you owe under 30% on all the cards that you have, because that helps boost your credit score. Because it's showing that you can
that you know how to manage. You know how to manage the money that they're giving you, and you're not overspending on what they're giving you.
Okay, so now assuming that I get the trade line put on, like, what's the next step after you get the trade line put on? Like, how does she get started developing her own identity, or,
So,
her own credit history?
so once you put her on, then you want to wait until they report, which is usually whatever your report date is for that certain account. So let's say if you put her on American Express, if your American Express reports on the 9th of the month, then you would have to wait till that next month in order to see that trade line has been put on to her credit report or to your son or daughter's credit report. That boosts that. Now she will end up with a credit score. You see what I mean? So when you first do it, she doesn't have anything. Zero, basically. There's no credit score because she doesn't have any history. So she gains your history. She gains your credit utilization. She gains everything from that particular account that you have onto her. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not late on any payments, that you're keeping that utilization down, because whatever you have on that account is going to report on her account.
So at some point, though, I'm assuming that you take her off once she gets a couple of cars or a couple of lines on her own. That way she's on her own.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. But you do want to wait until, she's a little bit established, because she will lose some of those points. Not dramatically, but she will lose some of those points because of the history on your line, Okay. But as long as she gets her own credit, so then it'll open the door for her to get other credit of her own.
I'm thinking maybe like a year's time, just in that first year, maybe year or two, while she's, leaning on your line.
Right.
Establishing a couple lines of her own, and then that way the hit maybe won't be so bad once she takes, you take her off your credit line.
Right, because
let her be on her own.
Right, because she'll be able to show payment history on her own account.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that makes sense.
A couple of hold on, I had it.
Sure.
And not all credit card companies allow authorization for it, because you can start real young. Some companies don't allow it, but most of your big companies, they do. Like your American Express is 13 to 15 years old. Barclays is 13 years old.
That's how the minimum? Oh, okay, the minimum ages. Okay, cool.
You got Bank of America, who has no minimum age requirement. Capital One has no minimum age requirement. Chase, no minimum age requirement. Citibank, no minimum age requirement. Discovery is 15 years old, and U.S. Bank is 16 years old, and Wells Fargo. But if I didn't say one of your cards, you can just call the back, of the card issuer and just ask them the age requirement to add, your child as a authorized user. And you don't have to give them the card.
What was Wells Fargo? The age
Wells Fargo was no minimum age requirement.
Oh, okay.
But
and you can keep the card yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to give them the card. So you don't have to give them the card if you don't want, or you can, and you teach them, what's the amount that they can spend, or, and whatever y'all agree upon, and see how well they manage it.
Yeah,
and that's just, if you want to teach.
As I'm thinking about it too, some of the techniques that I was using to help build my credit, because you're utilizing it, you need to utilize the credit in order to build it stronger and be paying it off. One of the things that I was doing was, if there's a purchase that I know I need to make, or, something that they need to do, like, get the school clothes or something like that, some expense that has to come out, that's something that they can use their credit card for, and then just make a plan to pay that back. It's not that you can't just go out and buy the school clothes already. It's like you're doing it for a purpose. You're doing it because you want to build credit while shopping for your stuff, without hurting yourself.
Right, and that's one of the things that's important. So that's where you come with, teaching, like just to make them understand why you're doing it like this and why we're doing it like this. So that's what I'm doing with my daughter right now. So right now we're at the point now, I wish we would have started like 2 years ago, but we just started. So I'm at the point right now. Well, you actually did it with my partner, but with my daughter, we're waiting on her account to report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, are there any books or videos or anything like that you've seen around that you recommend that speaks to this topic, like teaching kids about credit?
You know what? I haven't. You know what? I haven't did any research on any books or videos. But one thing about Credit Karma, like I said, it's free. Make sure your child can get a Credit Karma when you decide to add them as a trade line. Make sure you sign them up for Credit Karma so they get used to seeing emails and all that kind of stuff. Because in Credit Karma, they have this lady, she's called Penny, in your Credit Karma. So one day, open it up. So it's a lady named Penny. And whatever you got going on, she's tailored to your credit. So she'll say, what are you trying to do? And then she's interactive with you. So what are you trying to do? Buy a home. And then she'll go into talking about credit and tailored to your own credit of what you need to do to buy a home based off your credit. And she's interactive. So every time you answer yes, no, maybe, then she'll come back with a answer for you. And so it's
okay. So it's got like I like that. It's like got an interactive tutorial type of thing on there.
Yep, and it's called Penny.
Okay.
And she says,
that's good to know. I didn't realize they had that.
Yeah.
Because when I went looking for books, I mean there are books. I don't want to give the impression that there's no books out there for teaching kids about credit.
Oh, yeah,
the ones that I did find, the ones I found were they looked dry.
Right. That's what it is. It's like dry. I think the best way to learn is like not so dry. Like I mean, it comes from just the people around you talking about it. You actually seeing it. Like, oh my God, my credit score is 720. Because my partner, she did the same thing with her daughter. This was last year because her daughter was graduating. Her daughter graduated last year from high school. And so we started working with her daughter on putting the trade lines onto her account. And she'd be like, oh my God, my score is 7. Her credit score was 725. I think it was 725. And she was like, oh my God, my credit. She was like, Mommy, don't nobody even know about credit. And she's in college now. So she talks about it like nobody even really know about credit and college like that. And when your kids get to college, credit cards going to start coming. My daughter turned 18 in February and a credit card came for her already.
Man, they quick. They quick.
Quick to get you in something that you don't know about. Yeah, I mean, credit is a valuable tool, but you got to know how to use it. Or it can be dangerous if you don't.
Well, you definitely put me in a different mindset because it's not that I don't want to teach my kids about credit or anything like that. I just feel like I fell off a little bit because you just get complacent. You start working, you start doing on every day, and you just don't think about it. And then it doesn't help that all that teenage angst and trying to teach them something they don't want to. It seems like they don't want to learn half the time. So now I'm gonna start talking about credit to you, but I think it's worth the effort though. So. I'm not going to feel bad. I'm just going to do something about it,
It is. And, just teach your kid about, the responsible credit card use and, don't charge more than what they can pay back. Teach them about the due dates, report dates, and teach them let them know this is not your money. It's not free. And the longer it takes for you to pay it back, the more interest you're going to pay.
It's like that, what do you say, that $100 thing that you just can't live without a year from now that you aren't even thinking about if you haven't, you're going to be still paying for it.
Yeah,
you know,
because I remember when I first started,
or whatever.
Yeah, when I first started showing my teaching, well, just talking about credit with my daughter or whatever, she was like, credit card, ooh, free money. No, it's not.
Yeah. You know, you got to clap on that one. No, it is not.
No.
So just get that out of your head now.
It's not
There's
free
no such
money.
thing. It is
It's
not free.
Right. It's no such thing as free money. But that's the first thing that came to her head was free money. So, no, it's not free money. So I just think when a kid sees the difference it makes, so in the beginning when you show your child, look, that you just added a trade line, you done showed your child you got a 700 score, they excited, like, dang, you know, the highest you could get is this, and, you know, you can be in the 800s, you know, and telling them what all of it means. And then, you know, sometimes they got to make mistakes on their own. You know what I mean? So if you pay this late, then look what happened. You done lost 100 points.
You know what? I just had an idea. I just had an idea with you. I'm doing more with my artwork. You and me, we need to write a kid's credit book about teaching these children about credit. You take the knowledge, I'll get the pictures, and we will put that together and put the fun in learning about building some credit because we need it. It's needed.
You do.
We need something like that. We need more people to, because one of the things that you said that just hit me is like you're talking about people talking about credit and things like that. That's the problem. Most people don't talk about credit. You know, it's one of those quiet conversations that you keep to yourself. I don't want anybody to know my credit report and my credit score and stuff like that.
And I think that's why my daughter is so, like, she listens to me because she's seen the damage that not having good credit can cause. You know what I mean? I wasn't hiding it from her. Like, oh, God, I'm not going to, you know, I'm stressing. Like, oh, my God, my credit was bad at the time. And then I couldn't buy me another house. You know, so this is how it affects you. Look, I couldn't even buy another house because my credit was messed up. You know what I mean? So your credit is, I mean, it's important. You know, like you want that new, what she want? She want a new iPhone or something, iPhone something. And I say, so see, you want an iPhone this, but you can't do that with no credit unless you're going to buy it straight out. You ain't got no cash to buy no $1,000 little cell phone. Credit comes, you know, in handy, but, you know, you just got to know the proper way to use it. And, yeah, so just get your kids ready and add them trade lines. But first, make sure you understand credit.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, you've given a great plug to Credit Karma, so I'm going to, but I'll give credit where credit's due because I've been on there too. I do like their service, but I appreciate you sitting and talking with us for a little bit and sharing this information because it is good information. Thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Scott. You have a good one.
You too.